What's going on, guys, and welcome to the channel. My name is Reese, and today I'm going to be giving you guys a quick review of my current bike. The bike I'm currently running at the moment is the Merida 160-400, so there's around 4 bikes in the lineup, all the way from the 700 down to 400, which is this model. This is the base model and comes in at around $3,000. Basically what I'll do is I'll just bring you through some of the stuff that I'm running on this bike, what I think of it, and how it's performed through the past few months. Yeah, let's get started. So I've owned this bike for the past 3 or 4 months now. I've ridden this bike at Belair, Cobbler Creek, Anstey's Hill, Fox Creek, and all those trails, all those places, it has performed very well. It climbs surprisingly well for an enduro bike, for a 170mm enduro bike. And Anstey Hill is my backyard, and I ride there 3 times a week, and I climb to the top of the hill, and it works fine. It has a 12 speed on the rear, which really helps. Yeah, I'm really happy with the way it climbs for the kind of bike that it is. So I'm running the extra large frame. It is a great frame. I'm not sure the reach on this particular model, but it's been a super solid frame. Got a few really hard rock hits on the bottom bracket, and yeah, it's actually held up really well. The forks on these bikes are the RockShox 35. They're a 170mm enduro fork. Pretty basic settings, just a simple compression knob up here, which I've only really used once or twice, but it does come in handy. It does have lockout. It is an air sprung fork. I don't have any volume spacers in it at the moment, but I am looking into getting some. The tires I'm running on this bike is the Assegai on the front. I think that's how you pronounce it. If not, let me know. This is a super great tire. I really love it, and I'd really recommend it if you're looking into a aggressive enduro tire for the front or even the back. I think they might have a tire for the back. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, overall, I've really loved it. On the rear, I'm running just the Maxxis Minion DHR. It's been a good tire, but the rubber compound on that tire is pretty soft, so it's already showing lots of wear on the tire. Some of the knobs are cracking. I'm running the Merida Expert rims on this bike. Really great. I have a friend who has the same bike except 2016 model, and they run basically exactly the same rims, and he has thrashed his bike, and they've held up fine. I did have to true my back wheel once after a big drop. 2 spokes came loose, so I just had to tighten those back up, and yeah, she's fine now. So the current rear shock I'm running on this bike is the Super Deluxe Select. It's a pretty basic rear shock. I run about 30% sag and 2 clicks from fully open on rebound, and yeah, I'm actually really happy with this shock and how it's performed over the past few months. So the derailleur I'm running on this bike is the 12-speed SRAM SX. It's a good group set. It gets the job done. It shifts very smoothly. It is kind of loud. The clutch on this one isn't the best. There's not much chain slap, but there is quite a lot of movement coming from the derailleur, just moving back and forth because that clutch isn't very stiff. I'm running the SRAM X1 cranks. These are, I'm not actually sure how long they are, but overall they're a super solid crank. They've got quite a few marks over them and have got hit pretty hard sometimes, and yeah, they've held up really well. The pedals I'm running these VP Harriers. They've been insane pedals. They're very grippy. My last pedals were the Crank Brothers Stamp 1, and those actually broke. I was climbing up a steep bank, and the whole pedal just completely separated from the spindle. They're a great pedal. I really love them. The reason I got them is because I have size 13 shoes, and these are very big pedals. I have the DUB or dub bottom bracket. It's been great. Really smooth bottom bracket. Haven't had any problems. No creaks. No nothing coming from it, which is great. I'm running the Shimano MT400 hubs. They're a decent hub. I did have some issues with the back. I had to replace a few bearings. I haven't had any problems with the front yet. And after fixing the back, they've ran good. The brakes I'm running on this bike are these Shimano 4-pot brakes. I actually don't know the model number for these brakes. When I originally purchased this bike, I was expecting to have to replace these brakes. I thought that they wouldn't be quite powerful enough. I thought that they were just kind of one of those standard Shimano brakes that are put on those, you know, cheap bikes. I was wrong. I was pleasantly surprised with how these brakes perform. They don't have great modulation, but they definitely do the job. I'm running a 200mm rotor on the front and a 180 on the back. They're not as powerful as something like the SLX or the XT brakes, but they're great for the brake that they are. The Merida Comp TR dropper post on this bike, it is a 135mm travel dropper. It's a little short for me. I'm 6'4", so quite tall. I really need something like a 150mm or 175mm, but it does the job very well. It does have a little bit of side-to-side movement, not a big deal, but it does make a little bit of noise actually when the seat's up. It's a very smooth dropper post. I've had to lube the, what do you call it? The seat post a couple times. Quick tip, I actually use Vaseline or something like Vapor Rub to lube these. Dottie from GMBN actually said that that's a perfectly fine thing to use. It just doesn't last as long as one of the lubes that are made for this kind of dropper. The bars I have on this bike are just the standard bars that come on this bike. They're the Merida Expert bars. I'm not sure the rise. They're 780 wide, which I think is perfect for me. It is a 40mm stem. They're both great. They're a great stock bar and a great stock stem. So there you have it, guys. That is my quick review of my current bike. If you have any more questions about this bike, make sure to leave those in the comments below. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.